All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan, and we're doing a mining chart again. So, mining charts by Crypto Plan. And I think because I was noticed the other day that my video on Greatland Gold, I can't stop buying Greatland Gold, had a lot of views lately. So I'm getting a feeling. I'm getting a feeling that people are starting to be interested in Greatland Gold, and rightly so. So I'm going to do a little quick update and just kind of make the case for, why maybe now could possibly be a better time than any to either build a position or completely add to your position in Greatland Gold. So let's get into it. But like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new and all that stuff before we crack on over and have a look at the chart. Okay, so brief history for those of you that know nothing about Greatland Gold. It is a London Stock Exchange listed explorer, but its kind of number one asset is a joint venture with Newcrest Mining, which is an Australian miner in Western Australia. The mine itself is 45 kilometres from an existing mine infrastructure called Telfer. If it turns out to be anywhere near the size of Telfer, that was a 36-year gold mine, and this thing has copper in it. So you can see that the price has done really well based on some news. So we're going to have a look at the chart, go over and look at some of the news that's happened in the last couple of months, and just try and paint a picture of why now could be a really good time to be getting into Greatland Gold. And maybe that's why the videos are getting a few hits. Maybe if you've got investors that are thinking the same thing. Just looking down on the stock RSI, the first kind of indicator for me is that stock RSI is very low on this monthly chart. Can't really go much lower. So, that's always kind of a case of, well, it may keep bottoming for a while, but it's all good, it's all good entries, it's upside from there, from the indicator perspective. I'm not saying the price has to go up because of that, but that's a good start. If the price was down here and the indicator was higher, then you'd be a little bit kind of edgier, that the price could go lower. And the other thing is that if we zoom in here and see this monthly candle, that's come green. So you can see that kind of a bottom has been put in over this month, and hopefully we close the month a little bit higher above some of this resistance here. So that's the kind of initial chart analysis. But the reality is that price moves so far to the upside with the gold bull run, and it's just having a normal natural correction. We don't love to see it below its 1 year moving average, but it's definitely going to be above its 3 year moving average, which if we show here, so the one's above the 3, so that's our kind of golden cross chart there. So definitely we're in bull mode. We're still above that 3 year moving average, which is above the 1 year moving average, but I'd like to see that kind of jump up and be testing that 22, 23 pence level by the end of the month, if not early into the next month. Probably all depending on the gold and copper price, but that's the way these markets roll. All right, so we're over here on their corporate presentation. And for those of you that know nothing about mining, and I'm not saying I know a lot, this thing's going to be an underground mine. Most of the ore body is here. They've currently completed this box cut and they're starting to do the decline. And I guess the plan is that while they're doing this decline, they're getting permits, they're getting mine plans in place, they're getting all the eggs in a row, so that they're doing this kind of work whilst they're getting ready to actually start the mine and pump that ore through the mill. So there's kind of a 3 year from this box cut, which started in February, plan to have that kind of fully functional, fully mining down at the major ore body there. So that's the plan. So things are well on its way. So, from a risk perspective, from back in December when it was just a resource that was announced to now, it's less risky because there's actually work going on. Newcrest is still drilling. You've got this idea that there's a roadmap, right? So we're past May, so box cuts done. They're gonna, there's progress. There's work happening right now. So there's big news to come. So the pre-feasibility study, like the defined resource, the full kind of mine plan and how much they plan to get out, how many years they plan to run at it. is looking to be due in Q4 21. So there is big news coming up, big catalyst news, along with, I guess, a splattering of drilling results that come, along the way. So, and then the full feasibility study there in the 2022, so calendar year 2022, so sometime in the future, and then production within 3 years. So there is a good roadmap for this stock, and there is plenty of upside because the price, the all-time high price is based on an initial resource, and this company not only has this project, it has other projects, and then it has ones that it hasn't even started exploring. So there is definitely plenty of upside for Greatland Gold. And I just want to kind of come down here and just point it out. And we'll go back to our chart and have a look at that. That see in December 2020, just before the all-time high, the initial mineral resource was, was kind of released, and then as the price peaked and then it declined, then the work has started. We've come all the way down here, found a bottom, and kind of are moving out of it now. So the price now is a hell of a lot cheaper than it was when the resource was initially announced. So a lot less risk down here, and the price is a lot lower. So, this is the kind of weight of evidence that we're looking to make a decision on this particular stock. And just to put things into context, so the drilling is going on by Newcrest. They're a big mining company. They don't just want a small mine. So the only reason they're involved in is they want a big, massive mine. I've said in my last video, Telfer has two of the biggest ball mills. And I think it's a 24 million tonne per annum capacity through the mill. So there's a lot of ore and a lot of minerals that can be extracted per year from this thing. So they are continuing to drill. These are the most recent results from June, and you can read it yourself. I'm not into interpreting this data, but there is results that are good, if not better than a lot of the average results that I'm seeing out there. And in particular, when you're starting to see 13 meters at 32 grams, 11 grams, 85 meters at 11 grams, like they're excellent results. And then, I think there's averages of about 2 to 3 grams per ton, which is really, really good. When you're thinking about some open pit mines that are under 0.5 gram a ton, and they're still profitable at this current gold price. And then you've got the copper as well, which 0.5% of copper in that ore is a huge upside to the actual ore body and the mineralization. So there's all good news coming out. There's actually zero bad news coming out of this company, but yet the share price is still low. So we're going to go back over to the chart and just have a look at that, and I'm going to put some drawings back on. So I've got this kind of parabolic arc pattern, so a couple of touches on that side. So yes, would have been good to get in early and seen all that upside. And yes, I think that this point right here, this £1.83, when it touched this first time after a kind of a pump up, pull back, sideways action before that big parabolic move, was the best time to get in. But for me, I didn't get in there. I found it later. But the beautiful thing is that once corrections happen, once things extend away from moving averages and stuff like that, eventually corrections happen, and we get chances to buy back in. So right now, what are we? We're at a 50% discount from all-time highs. So that's really good. And like I say, got the point here, this monthly candle initial resource was in December 2020. During this month here, price reached an all-time high. So was it, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing? Gold price is correcting anyway, so it's quite normal. But now we've had more high-grade results, pre-feasibility and DFS due from Q4 onwards. So there's only good news to come. And the other thing is that based on this kind of arc or this curve that I've got drawn on there, we've had a touch there, so we're looking for price to kind of bounce off that and rebound up, which will be super, super, super exciting. And I guess if we go now to the daily, we can see that some kind of a bottom has been put in. Hopefully, time will only tell if it actually is a bottom. But you can see there, price fell, retraced a little bit, went sideways, double kind of tap at a lower low. always like to see where this low matches up with, and I think it's probably a little bit of an overextension. I guess potentially it could still drop another leg lower and maybe retest and close this gap here up to this kind of 1569, but like I say, any more weakness in this one for me as a long-term investor, it's not one of my trades. I know, there's other things that I'm doing as trading where I want to catch them high and sell them higher. This is a long-term investment. This is something to potentially want to hold, until they're a production company and then scale out then, because that's when big moves happen in these stocks, is when they turn from explorers to producers, or the asset they've got is actually starting to produce money, and that's when you can kind of jump out of it or risk off of it, or along the way, as the price goes up, you can kind of take small amounts of profit. But right now, any weakness in the stock for me is a buying opportunity, and I think recently I had, orders filled as low as 1750, which I was very happy with. And like I say, I'll continue to kind of chip away at that if there was any weakness. But for me, it looks like there is a low kind of in there. That's a bottom and it's moving out of there. Maybe a bit of sideways action, but, that potentially is kind of the lowest it will go for a while, with gold looking like it is kind of heading up there again. The same gold's kind of looking the same. Ran up, pulled back, double tap on the bottom. So that Greatland Gold chart is looking very much like the gold chart and following the gold chart in a very similar fashion. Okay, so we're back over here on their website and just scrolling down, and if you do go to Greatland Gold's website, you can see the kind of recent tweets, and the good thing is that Sean Day, the president or general manager, or whatever he is, that the head honcho guy, the guy that's going to basically be running the company to success. Sean Day, ex member of the board at Northern Star Resources in Australia, which is a company that you go and look at their chart, has done really well all through the bear market and will continue to do well as Australia's second biggest producer of gold. So yeah, he's come across to this project. He's excited about it. He's very happy with it. Like he himself probably can't understand why the price has gone back that far. And the reality is that there's stuff happening in this project. There's good news, good prospects. There's further growth. There's projects they still own 100% of. So potentially you could see this company either becoming a producer or proving out multiple assets and selling them off, or joint venturing them off, and seeing this price go absolutely parabolic if they've got similar resources or get similar results from multiple projects. Then things can go nuts. But yeah, like I say, I encourage you to get over there and do your own research and watch Sean Day and understand where he's at. Very, very sound guy. You get a better feel for what's going on right now from listening it from the man's mouth. So that's pretty much it for me. Greatland Gold is a great buying opportunity for me at the moment if you're a long-term investor. It's definitely not something that's going to trade up super duper quick. You can see that it's tied to the price of gold, and looking at this kind of bounce off here and this touch off the arc, hopefully that's the move done. The bottom's in, and we can see it kind of moving up towards 50 pence and onwards, along with the gold, leverage to the gold price like a lot of explorers will. But from a risk perspective, compared to other explorers that are just exploring, even with JVs, this one, you got to remember there's a mine site ready there to go. There's a camp ready to go. There's existing infrastructure. There's all the connections of Newcrest mining. There's all the understanding of the location and the permitting. So from a risk perspective, this is probably one of the lower risks by jurisdiction, any deposit in the world, because of the fact that the people on the ground are so experienced and in the know. And, I know myself, I'm from Western Australia, and they get a lot of their money from mining royalties and taxes there. So they're very happy to push through the right projects and make sure that income is coming into the state. So definitely I see it as probably one of the lowest risk projects at the moment that that I'm looking at anyway. I'm sure there's better ones out there if you're super into doing your research. But yeah, Greatland Gold is a winner for me, and any weakness is a buying opportunity and a long-term accumulation, because the prices will not be at 18 pence for long. I tell you that much, and especially while gold's looking to move to the upside. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. That's kind of a fairly long one. Hopefully it's given you some value. Like the video if it has. My name's Jared. I've been Crypto Plan, or Mining Charts by Crypto Plan. We're looking at mining stocks also that are going to move like cryptocurrencies, which they will in this crazy super bull market that is on our way. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, and bye for now.